Hi everyone, Mike and Trisha here. We're out and about again after a long break, catching up on other things. We've had a leisure battery upgrade and we need to give it a real test, so we've travelled down from Scotland meeting some lovely people on the way. We headed through the Channel Tunnel and we're destined for Portugal. That's not to scale, by the way. After a short stay in Cayeau-Sur-Mer, we're moving on to La Riviere-Saint-Saavrur, where there's some animated drama for us and a couple of mishaps in the van. We're moving on today from Cayeau-Sur-Mer, so it's an early start for me and Kira. It's a beautiful day today, albeit a little bit chilly, and we had some rain overnight. But it's moving on day today, so I'm on dog walking duty. And Trisha's back at the van having a shower, and I'll get back and have a shower when she's finished. We find that works for us actually. I take Kira out for a walk. That gives Trisha a chance to get up and get the bed away on moving on day, and then she can have a shower and I just get out of her hair for a little while. We discovered that we've got a leak in the shower. I mean, it's a tiny little leak, but it's quite annoying all the same, especially since that leak wasn't there before we had our habitation check. And I know that the guy fixed the sink for us, so he's maybe had that panel off and the shower head's not been put together properly again, because you can see a little black seal, like a little black rubber ring hanging down. And it looks like it's been trapped when the thing's been screwed back on. It definitely wasn't like that before. So it's just a bit annoying, you know, that we're going to have to go all the way back to Brownhills to get that fixed. I mean, I tried to kind of screw it off myself, but it's fairly solid and I don't want to make a mess of it. We've actually been on electric hookup while we've been on this site, which is a little bit counterintuitive given that we're supposed to be giving the battery, our new leisure battery, a good old test. So what are we doing on electric hookup, for goodness sake? Well, the thing is, we wanted to get the heating on. It's been a little bit chilly, and to heat the van and to heat the water, we used the electricity. So that's why we're plugged in. But realistically, we shouldn't be doing that. We should accept that this is a test situation. We'll use the gas. We should be using the gas. But it's the Scotsman in me. We're like, oh, save money, you know, we're paying for this electric hookup anyway, so let's just use it. Well, we're not going to use it. We've decided for the next little while to give that battery a real test, because we have to put it through a few cycles. And you're not going to get proper readings from the app either until you've actually taken the battery through a few cycles, have it really charged up and then really discharged down. And that way, the app actually learns a little bit from that and gives you more accurate readings. Time to head back now. And here's a funny little thing. Just at the entrance to this site, there's a wooden caravan there. Well, maybe it's clad in some kind of wood. Let's go over and have a wee look. It's called Voilerie. Why don't you come on over, Voilerie? Voilerie. Bonjour. I'm back at the van now and I've had my shower. So Trish is just drying her hair with the hairdryer. She better get used to that and enjoy it while she's got it, because there's going to be no more electric hookup for the next 4 or 5 days at least. Putting the kettle on?
Yep.
I quite fancy trying one of those new coffee bags that you got me.
Okay.
You've got one handy. Trisha's got me some coffee bags. I quite fancied trying something different. Something that would give me a good cup of coffee, but without all the hassle of using machines. So I'm going to give these a try anyway.
This is them. Ringtones.
They look like they'll be quite good. Is it quite strong coffee?
It's a 6 out of 7 level.
Well, that's quite strong then.
Yeah.
Presumably it's just like making a cup of tea with a tea bag.
Yeah, you've got to leave it 3 to 4 minutes to infuse. It's a big giant tea bag. It smells good. So you put it in there waiting in the kettle and then we'll get that popped in.
You said you were going to contact Brownhills about the leaky shower head, which is a real pain in the butt, to be honest. Did you manage to get in touch with them?
I emailed them. I said to them that we were coming back in April and if we could pop in on our way back up so they could have a look at it. So we'll see what they say. I've got a picture of it as well I can send them. How's your coffee?
It's very good, actually, yeah. 6 out of 7 for strength. I'd probably give it 6 out of 7 as a score. It's very good.
Do you need more milk?
No, it's just fine. This could be the new go-to thing in the van. I like it. No machines or anything like that, and yet you get a fairly decent cup of coffee. I've finished that coffee and I'm changing my score from 6 out of 7 to 4 out of 7 because it's a little bit powdery when you get to the bottom of the cup. Obviously, some of the grains, the powdered grains, are getting through the little bag and it's a little bit grainy towards the bottom of the cup. Not bad, but 4 out of 7. It's time for us to head off, and there's a stretch of this road that we're really looking forward to. That stretch is the Normandy Bridge. It's an incredible structure that stretches over the River Seine, connecting Le Havre to Honfleur. When this bridge was completed in 1995, it was the longest cable-stayed bridge in the world. That means it uses huge cables to hold up the road, making it both strong and stunning to look at. It's about 2.1 kilometres long, which is over a mile, and the towering pylons stand nearly 215 metres tall. That's as high as a 70-storey building. Whether you're driving across or just admiring the view, the Normandy Bridge is not just a road, it's a masterpiece of modern engineering. Just over the bridge, we're in a camping car park at La Riviere-Saint-Saavrur. This is our park up for the night. Now, it wouldn't be everybody's cup of tea. After all, there is a rather large road here, and I'm sure there'll be some noise coming from this later on tonight. Personally, I love it. I mean, the engineering that's in that bridge that we just crossed is absolutely incredible. And I'm standing here and I'm looking over. This part here that leads onto the bridge has a series of huge concrete arches. And I'm looking at these and I'm just thinking, how did they do that? We've come back to the van for a coffee because the rain's on. And I was going to tell you about a little bit of a disaster we had last night. Not a huge disaster, a little bit of a van mishap, shall we say, involving this stuff, the old red wine. So we'd sat down for something to eat and I'd kept my laptop on the table. Actually, it's a little MacBook. Well, you can guess what happened, can't you? I was getting up and the glass of wine just toppled. So it's a warning to us. These glasses, they might look quite good and that's why we got them, but they're plastic. We've had a few broken glasses in the past, shall we say. So we decided to get these plastic ones, but when this is full of wine, there's no weight in this glass at all. And it's very easy to topple over. So what happened was I was just getting up. And I must have caught this glass of wine somehow and it tipped and it went right over this MacBook. Now, Trisha quickly grabbed the kitchen roll and ran over to me and we're patting it down on the keyboard here to try and catch up all the spill. Amazingly enough, it's working fine. We sponged it down with a damp cloth and it's been all right. And thankfully, we've got seat covers on the chairs here in the van. And I don't know if you've noticed that before, but here's a picture of one of the seat covers. And here's a picture of the seat without the cover on it. And if I hold up this seat cover, you'll see this one got a real drenching with wine. So it wasn't just the keyboard. My seat got it as well. Thankfully, the seat cover saved it. It looked a lot worse than it does in this picture, but it's dried up quite a lot, but you can still see all the staining on there. It was raining for the rest of the afternoon and we stayed in, but we did have a couple of mallard ducks coming to pay us a visit. They're both males, but they seemed to get on very well together. There was no fighting at all for the crumbs that Tricia was giving them. Well, we both slept well last night. We weren't bothered by any noise at all coming from the road. Once you're in the van, you don't hear it. You've got the doors closed. The van's well insulated. There's a little turning point at the end of this park up. I came out here last night to fly the drone, but you're not allowed to fly the drone from this little turning point because this is right on the edge of the no-fly zone. What you have to do is you have to go away up there into a boggy farmer's field. So that's what I did. I took our drone Midge up into the air from that farmer's field yesterday. And the bridge, actually, it was a lot further than I thought it was. So it was way off in the distance, but I did manage to get this shot. That was the best that I could do. I was getting some high wind warnings, so I had to take the drone down immediately. And then I thought, well, why don't I try and get some drone footage from Google Earth? And I went onto Google Earth to see if I could get a drone shot, but it looks rubbish. So I decided not to use it. Oops, I just have. Oh, she's spotted me. Have you spotted me? Hello, hello. Right, you ready for it? You ready for it? Are you ready? Go on then. After we've played with Kira for a while, we decide to head to Hornflower for the day. It's just going to be a couple of minutes away in the van. Did you say goodbye to our little ducky friends?
Oh, they never came for breakfast. They must just do lunch and dinner. Maybe they're on a fast diet.
They're probably away to one of the competitors.
Yeah, they probably are.
We've arrived in Hornflower, and I'm just a little bit concerned that our 6-metre van might be too big for this space. But then I saw this, and suddenly I wasn't bothered at all. Right, Kira, you ready to go? Oh, she looks beautiful with her little coat on. Right. It's raining as we head out, and we're parked on the waterfront across from Hornflower. We'd like to go there next if the rain stops, but first we're visiting La Mora, which is the name of William the Conqueror's ship from 1066. In here there's a cinematic show about the battle, and there's a shipyard where craftsmen are building a recreation of the ship. But it's no dogs, and I go in on my own. The story tells of how William's army, consisting of 700 to 800 ships, 8,000 men and 3,000 horses, sailed across the English Channel to make war on England and to claim the throne. They sail through the night to be undetected by the English. On the 14th of October 1066, the armies met at Hastings and a bloody battle ensued, ending in defeat of the English, with King Harold being killed by an arrow in the eye. After the show, I head into the shipyard where the ship used by William the Conqueror to invade Britain in 1066 is being rebuilt. It's getting very wet in here with all the rain, and I need to make like a pirate and walk the plank. But it was worth getting my feet slightly wet for this side-on view. Named after the original, La Mora will be 34 metres long and 5 metres wide. The plan is for it to be rowed across the channel almost 1,000 years after William went on to be crowned King of England, following his victory over Harold at the Battle of Hastings.
Shipbuilding in France in the 11th century had a Scandinavian influence from the Vikings that had settled there. The plans for the ship's carpenters are based on different written sources, as well as the Bayeux tapestry. The tools being used to build the ship are on display. They're using the same hand tools that they would have used back in the 11th century.
How did you enjoy it?
It was good, I enjoyed it. It was a shame you and Kira couldn't come in.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a long time if we had to swap.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And I guess we're not going to see much of Honfleur today.
No, it's very drab and very wet.
It's just horrible. So we'll just move on to the next site, do you think?
Yeah, let's just move and try and find some sunshine.
Yeah.